cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is Music Monday, and I'm your host, Slash. And with me, I got Comedian 96, K Money, Freddie G. Together, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, welcome back to another Music Monday. Of course, we got another great topic for you. Today, I want to talk about HOV, HOV, Jay-Z. So, look, y'all know that Forbes is calling Jay-Z the top greatest rapper of all times. This is what Forbes is saying about him.
Yeah, I saw that.
But again, when you think about all his attributes and everything he's done in the music industry, I think he kind of deserves a spot like that, for the simple fact that he's done. He's got the streaming platform. Mm-hmm. He manages artists. He manages sports players. I mean, he's doing more than the average rapper has done in the music industry. You know, for him to even have a sports team, he's got a basketball team. His wife is Beyonce.
Yeah.
The amount of money he got, you know, I hope he helped people with it. But Sean Carter. Now, I started listening to him back at the Blueprint album, which is one of his best albums to me. You know, that's when I really recognize who he was. And then he had that Best of Both Worlds he done with R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. And whatever happened with them, for them to, you know, not communicate again was kind of strange, because what I think is that them two together on that particular album was one of the coldest albums with R&B and hip-hop. Yeah. But a couple of years ago, if it wasn't last year or year before last, they had a museum set up in New York with a lot of Jay-Z stuff, you know, stuff that you hadn't seen, like his original, one of the cars he had, his original car, all of this stuff was a museum that lasted for only so long. I wanted to get to see that, but I didn't make it. But I think now the next thing that Jay-Z has accomplished, which is only what should come next throughout his career and what he's done. Have y'all heard about the book? HOV is doing a book on himself, kind of a memoir.
I haven't heard it yet.
You haven't heard of it?
I hadn't heard that either.
So the book is a coffee table book. Mm. But check this out. How much do you think the book costs? What range? Now, $50, $30, normal book price, you know, similar.
So you mean tell me it's not $49.99?
Man, I think $50 would be too much.
Me too.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
If it's a hardback book,
I think $50 is too much, man.
Yeah, $50 is too much. So if I would say maybe $30 max, $29.99.
Yeah,
that's sufficeable. People can say, okay, I like Jay-Z. I give you $30 for this book.
And assuming that there's a lease, and if it's a hardback, bigger than 6x9, in at least 400 pages.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 8 chapters.
That's all?
It's 8 chapters. And look, let's go back to the price. So Comedian 96, you said 49 or 29?
19 to 29. 19.99 to 29.99.
I'll say $29.99.
K Money, how much you spend?
I'm gonna say 25.
Hey man, this dude want 120.
Oh,
for a book?
For one of his books.
Wait, you mean it's a set?
That's a classic edition of the book.
I can't
costs
see
$120.
No,
I can't see that selling.
I can't see.
Hey man, that's a lot, bro.
I mean, I'm a fan, but not that big of a fan.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think that the average black person just the average black person. I ain't talking about no millionaire or whatever. I ain't talking about nobody that's in your same field in music and all that stuff. Do you think the average black person will go out and buy $120 book?
Yeah, I truly don't.
Right before Christmas?
There's no way. There's no way I would.
Period.
Do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's not an item that I have to have.
Right.
For that amount of money. But look, this is the crazy part. It's 432 pages. Okay, 432 pages.
That's a lot.
675 illustrations. What are you talking about? Where are the words at?
You say 600 illustrations.
675 illustrations.
So that's a bunch of pictures.
More than the pages in the book. So you got several pictures per page.
Yeah.
If we average it out. You know what I mean? For $120.
I'm trying to understand why it's so expensive, though.
Man.
Maybe
That's some Donald Trump shit.
His name.
That's what I'm thinking. I think she's just trying to get paid for.
Yeah, he's trying to get paid for his name, but that's the classic edition, costs $120. We ain't talked about the ultimate edition and the price of that motherfucker.
It's an ultimate?
It's an ultimate edition of the same shit.
Does Beyonce come with it and she dance with you? Still cater to you?
Help me to understand the difference between the
classic
and ultimate edition.
The ultimate edition is the one that's got the 432 pages with the 675 illustrations. That's the ultimate edition.
Okay.
It's not clear what the $120 classic edition has in it, but it's got to be less than 432 pages and less than 675 illustrations. So if we just say he's charging damn near, 10% more, way plus.
It's more than 10%.
Right. So the $120 book is probably thin, and it's probably just pictures. It might be 12 pages. You know what I mean? Because at this point, $120 compared to $2,000, that's a big difference when you telling me what you got in a $2,000 book. Now, if I was a true Jay-Z fan, I don't want the $120 book. I can't even afford this $2,000 book you selling. I mean, I understand the fact that when you get to a certain, place in life as financial, you still need to make your stuff affordable for people who view you as, who you are or like you as an artist. It's not even. Those
books can't be for the average folk.
It cannot be.
They not for the average folk.
He's wanting people to buy them, but they descripting this as a coffee table book. And when I think of a coffee table book, it's certain stuff that you put on your coffee table, reading materials, magazines.
Like they have in doctor's offices and shit like that.
So that's what this book is for. So now hopefully he's banking on companies to buy this book to put on their coffee table.
The upper class.
Right, like you're saying.
Sure can't afford
because people can't buy this. I'm not finna buy no $120 book and put it in my house.
Correct.
Put that motherfucker under the coffee table on a wobbly leg.
If it ain't standing up straight, the book can show hold it up.
You know what, Freddie G? I just thought about it. K-Money too. Remember that in the Navy? It's got to be a group of people. Because in the Navy, we had this stuff called GP. Some stuff we can make. Right?
Yeah.
But the Navy would buy boxes and boxes and boxes. Like, we would say, I would always say, man, whoever made GP is paid. Because all the ships and all the commands that we had use GP.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a special, a specialized group of people, like maybe talk shows, that will buy it and buy it in bulk. Just because it won't be regular people.
And for the listeners, GP is general purpose cleaner.
Yes, a cleaner. It was a cleaner. Something we put together. Yeah. Bottle was clear. It wasn't no design on there.
So I'm guessing this book, for certain people that's into fashion, just true Jay-Z fans are going to be the only ones, to want to pay for this book. But it's including original recording masters, stage-wear interviews, videos, awards, and, of course, unseen pictures of Jay-Z.
Yeah. And that's probably what you're paying for. Places we don't know that he been, and he have pictures
that we've never seen.
Still over price,
you said recording masters of songs that we've never heard.
Including original recording masters.
Okay, so
So some kind of way. My thing is
Exchange.
this. But if it's a book, it's not. It doesn't say audio. It says coffee table book. So how are you giving me?
Maybe it's a CD
the
in the
audio?
pocket.
It could be that.
It could be a CD in the pocket.
It could be.
Now that changes the game if you got an album.
But it would be
Still
a CD.
overpriced.
Here's the thing: who use CDs?
Nobody. So you'd have to. Maybe it's links. Maybe you got links to certain sites where you can go and listen to some music. I don't know.
Well, if he got a link, you know it's going to his title.
Of course. You know, he's getting paid for the stream.
Paid for the stream.
The man is smart. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking what he's doing.
Yeah.
I just can't afford a $120 book to put on the coffee table.
Exactly.
And I'm sure he probably does have a valid reason as to why he's, charging that much for it.
Well,
like you say, he's a smart businessman.
He deserved. His book should be. I mean,
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. Let's see how it works out because Andre 3000 did do the flute album.
but
well,
that shit didn't do well.
So
That
either.
didn't do nothing. That was trash.
So let's see what this book do.
well, you got to think.
This
You
is-
got to think that some of the stuff that
Yeah.
Jay-Z's done in his career gives him the ability to
do
charge
that.
this much.
Yeah.
This man was the first rapper to be on the rock and roll stage in the Glastonbury Festival, where all the rock and roll stars performed. Jay-Z was the first rapper to ever hit that stage. That's big in music, especially for a rapper.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Now that's interesting because I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah,
but that's interesting because I would think Run DMC with Aerosmith
Would have been the
would
first.
have been the first.
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, we don't know the back end of it. It's possible.
Well, you got to look at his accolades. I mean, he has the most Grammys as a rapper,
Right.
and other things like that. So I'm sure that that's what they're looking at.
And then he's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame award, first solo hip hop artist inducted. So he's got some attributes, man, that allows him to say, this is how much I want for my book, but I'll be honest, and let me ask y'all this question. Comedian 96.
Yes, sir.
Would you have Jay-Z's book on your coffee table
Probably not.
if it was given to you?
if it was given to him, yeah.
Freddie G.
Yeah, I would if it was given to me.
Yeah.
Okay. K Money.
Yeah, if it was given to him, I definitely would.
Definitely.
I would too. I agree with y'all on
Yeah.
that. But I tell you one thing. If I have to go and buy it, it's not gonna be on my coffee table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many Jet and Ebony magazines, because that's what we used to seeing on coffee
Coffee
tables.
tables, yeah.
Jet
Essence,
magazine,
Essence.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
But I do understand his reasoning. I'm just not that. I like Jay-Z. I'm just not that big of a fan to pay $120. And most of it is but you're knocking us out of a tax bracket because we can't afford that. But I mean, I think he'd do much better in sales of this book if it was cheaper. But maybe he's not going for sales. That may not be what he's looking at.
Yeah, they got to be. I think that for the most part, he's looking at it for more of a rich person's collectibles item or something. Because
Yeah.
think about this.
Yeah.
Think about the guy that paid $1 million for a Wu-Tang album.
The album, right? Wow.
You remember that guy?
And he was the only one with
and
it.
he's the only one with that album.
Yeah.
With that particular album. And he paid $1 million for a Wu-Tang album. And from my understanding, it was just a bunch of verses thrown together because they didn't collectively get together to do this.
That was just stuff that they
That
put
was just
together.
stuff that they just put RZA
But
allegedly
but
put together.
How if you're, it's not like the Jordan shoe. They say, okay, we're gonna come out with certain brand, a certain brand. I don't know, and it only sells so many. So is he doing that? Only selling so many books? Because if you're making it, how rare could it be if it's available to the world?
You know what? It just depends on once he published that book, how many copies that they print.
Right.
He may not be looking for 1 million printed.
Now, if he say, I'm only printing out 50,000 copies,
Then that makes it rare.
then it would make it rare.
That's what
but
makes it
if
rare.
he's going to
Yeah.
keep just selling them, then what's the you know what I mean?
And it's not saying, how many books he's printing. So we don't know, and like I say, I know he's a businessman and I
Right.
know he's smart.
Right.
So this what we talking about. it's a reason why he's doing this. You know,
Because if you say I must print, what is it? I'll print 50,000 copies. That's if you sell at 120. That's a little over 500,000.
But remember,
that's that's a $500,000. But
and remember, he's got some that's $2,000.
Wait.
Yeah,
And these are also going to be coffee table.
Wait,
The
that's
ultimate one.
yeah. They all cop. The ultimate edition is $2,000,
And when you
Okay,
think
I missed that.
You got
Yeah.
a classic edition
which is 120.
and an ultimate edition.
I wouldn't even buy the 120.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what we
where
said
we was
earlier.
at.
So yeah, but you hit me with the 2,000, and my emotions just.
it changes the whole
I
game.
started thinking about all my bills, and I can't do it.
But I was thinking when you were saying coffee table, like what you know, when you think about a coffee table book, people don't really. Those are not books that you read.
Nobody
You just
really
thumbing
pick
through
them.
them.
That's
Yeah.
So
That's why it's 675 photos in this book. Pictures that you can see where him being on tour, or him being at home, or him being with his wife, or him wearing
now
fashion.
I'm starting to see the logic, man. Because if he can get a business or several businesses to invest in this, he won.
He want exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I
He
say
would.
he's a smart businessman, because what I believe is every studio
Studio,
gonna have that book
record
in
label,
there.
yeah, shit
Every
like
record
that.
label. That's who's gonna buy this stuff, especially the 2000. And if you got a studio or a record label, you want the $2,000 copy because you want all the pictures. You're not gonna let your people come and see. You know, this is the classic. It's much thinner, probably. You know, may not even be a hardback book. But if you have the $120 version of this book, you probably don't really have much, considering the one that he's really wanting to sell is 2,000. He's allowing us to buy it for 120 when we talking about it should be $29.
So so the $120 book is for the common folk.
It's for the common folks.
Shit, I'm charging motherfuckers to look at this book, bro.
And the $2,000 folk is for the rich
For the
folk.
rich.
Yeah,
people, yeah.
his people.
Yeah.
Everybody, all his artists on his management
Exactly.
team. But think about it. This man managed artists, sports players, soccer, football, basketball, baseball. If each one of them buy the 2,000, they got the money to pay for the two. He rich again.
good. He rich smart.
Yeah. The man's smart, man.
The
I
book,
don't.
the book. I can see
Now
the book
you
being
selling who?
in Brooklyn's
You selling-
arena.
Yeah.
You know, I can see it being successful now.
Yeah. Now if you sell 50,000 copies at 2,000,
I can't see it being in Barnes and Noble though, and being and sales are going good.
Yeah, I
not
don't
in the
think-
average bookstore.
please
Yeah.
don't put it in.
I
there,
don't
'cause
know where the sales are gonna be, but most of it is gonna be in the U.S. probably.
Yeah, and it better not be in Barnes and Noble because you know they be robbing the phone stores. You definitely
Yeah.
know they gonna rob that regular Barnes and Noble for that $2,000 book.
They not saying where you could buy it from. But
They
it's-
bet not. Not for 2 racks.
yeah,
they
it's,
bet
it's
not.
probably gonna be some links.
They gonna have them motherfuckers locked up, bro.
Yeah, they gonna have them locked
Yeah,
up for
you
that
can't-
much.
you can't go in Barnes and
You ain't
Noble to
finna. Yeah,
buy
you
it.
got to order it
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, that's gonna have to be your ordered product. I don't think you're gonna be able to just.
Only if somebody returns it. Maybe I'm pretty sure they got a return policy, especially $2,000. That's the only way to possibly be in a store.
I don't know. A return policy.
Nah, you,
Well, if
you
you
gonna have to
return it
order
to-
that stuff online.
Well, if you order from Barnes and Noble, and then you got to return it back to them if you want to get your money back. That's the only way it could possibly a edition could be in the store, but just straight from the store going in and seeing it, nah, you got to probably order that book. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go check. I'm curious though.
So yeah, he got titles from the 24-time Grammy winner lyrics. So I'm guessing some of these chapters have titles from some of his Grammy songs or hit Grammys that he
when you say titles, meaning the
So each chapter, when you change chapters, don't know. Like
the
I said,
title of the chapter.
the titles, yeah.
Okay.
So I like I say, I don't know what the book all includes besides what they saying here, but I would think that you may have a couple of pages, under a certain title. Like let's say, for instance, he performed at the Lakers. What's it called? The Lakers deal where they shop where they play ball at. What's the name of the Lakers?
Staples Center.
Okay, so maybe he's got one called Staples Center. And this is all the stuff he did in California.
LA. Yeah, I just,
In the Staples Center.
You know, or his performances in the Staples Center, pictures, the behind the scenes. So it's a lot that he's selling that he just had footage of. And over the years, people following him around with cameras. He probably say, you know what, let's just make a book, which is smart.
It
know,
is.
I'm not taking nothing away from what he did. I think it's brilliant. It's just I can't afford.
That's the thing. We can't afford this shit. It is smart, man. I gotta admit that is pretty brilliant.
You know, I like the idea, and I think he's done just about everything imaginable as artists would want to do in the music game. I think he's actually pulled it off because the book is the last thing.
And Jay-Z, if you're listening, how much do page 2 cost?
Man, hey, how much is the table of contents? You know, is there a table of contents?
I probably could afford page 2.
But yeah, man, I think Jay-Z's on the right page, man, and he's made a major success story for himself in order to take care of his family. You know, he got the kids, he got his wife, and all of this. So. Shout out to Jay-Z, man. I think you're doing a really good job at, you know, making your career as best as what it'll ever be, because I think what you're trying to do is make it to where there will be no other artist to top your attributes that you're doing. So, hey, man, good looking out, man. And if I was in your position, I think I would do the same thing. So I think you're on the right page, man. But look here, listeners. If y'all want to leave a comment and tell us if you would pay for this book and how much you would spend on this book and whether or not it would be on your coffee table. So let us know. Just leave us a comment. Y'all come back tomorrow. Peace. So that's all, y'all, for this edition of Music Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow and check out True Tuesday with K Money. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast.